I'm sitting here and I'm thinking to myself, not that I'm like better or worse than Morgan. Well, not that I'm better than Morgan, but just like usually when you have a festival, the worst person goes first, you know? And now it just kind of feels like I'm picking up the podcast scraps that Roy and Morgan leave behind.
Okay, but the thing is that like this is the same mentality that like this is like it's like it's never ending. It's a pyramid scheme. Someone always has to go next. So whoever's coming after you will be performing in your shadow, Joe.
You know what? That's an important thing to think about, and I'm simply going to have to take that mentality with me into the future. Otherwise, I will have to 1v1 duel Morgan to determine who is the ultimate fear-baiting goat, best guest of all time.
Ultimate. I mean, I think the ultimate, based on the way this podcast has structured itself, I think Blair is unassailable, the champion of best guest of all time, because that motherfucker guested for like 150 episodes.
Yeah, longest unbeaten streak. Like Blair's basically the Undertaker of fear baiting.
Yeah. Blair's the Undertaker. Blair would be a great vampire. Blair's the Undertaker of fear baiting. This and so many other things.
Yeah, and whenever the Undertaker became the American Badass, that's when Blair appears. That's when and the Wonder Years updates. That's like Blair's persona when the Wonder Years updates.
Yeah. Well,
but yeah, I'm happy to be here.
Yeah, I'm excited to talk. I'm excited to talk about this fucking movie. I've been doing okay. I had surgery done on my butthole, which was fun.
Oh,
just being as candid about it as I possibly can.
I mean, I don't think you're going to beat the candidness of the L8 episode, because that was, even I was
no,
no, I wasn't uncomfortable, but it was definitely like, oh man, we're really just kind of airing all of the shit out.
Yeah,
but it went well.
Yeah, it went well. They made a cut in my butthole, and now I have a healing cut in my butt, and it hurts to shit. It hurts to live. It doesn't actually hurt to live. It just kind of hurts to shit.
Semper shitty.
Fear-baiting, everyone. It's your "What if Christianity was as bastardized as other religions were in Hollywood cinema" podcast. It's a niche category, but you know what? We're number one for a reason. I'm Sarah, and I'm joined this week by Joe. Sorry, I was leaving you. I was trying to lead you in.
By me.
It's Joe.
Me by me. Yeah, it's me, Joe. What up? It's
new name Goofin.
Yeah. I think
we don't have to talk about this on the show. I just no. I'm raising the wine glass I'm sipping out of to you for new name Goofin.
Yeah, it's a name that I've been that like was given to me as a nickname. First of all, because I don't really consider John like a former name or anything, but Joe is just like a. Ooh, it's a very like succinct, like bam, it's out there,
Yeah.
And I also have a new Twitter @.
Which made me laugh out loud the first time I read it on Fear Baiting.
Because
no, I read it on Forward ReZero, and it made me laugh out loud. Then I remember Morg said I had to go check and make sure that was actually Joe's @.
It surprises me that like I like no matter how many times like I've been referred to as friend of the show, like that nobody in like the circle of like the coven circle that is the Noise Space Peagot circle, that nobody has the @. So I feel like I've just kind of stolen everyone's valor.
There's an image on my hard drive titled "Friend of" that like I just have saved in my reactions folder titled "Friend of the Show," and it's just a picture of a guy smiling slightly because it's how I feel whenever someone refers to me as friend of the show on any podcast I listen to.
That's it, right? That feeling is so good, and you know, I am a friend. I'm a friend to many shows.
Very true. Friend to this podcast, friend to me.
Yeah, and friend to, you know, John Constantine.
We watched Constantine this week, 2005 Constantine.
Yeah, a movie that like always jumps around from in my mind as being either from 2005, 6, or 7, just kind of like those late Bush years.
Yeah.
Yeah,
it's
yeah.
There is a staggering reliance on the use of the word deport in a way that is
oh yeah.
It's a lot.
It is. It's weird because like, you know, we can get into the lore of it like
and we will.
And we definitely will. But John in this movie, John Constantine is like transposed from the original character as like a blonde British man into a dark-haired American, and that translation comes with like newfound, I think, levels of weird non-self-awareness with the use of the term deportation.
Yeah.
But you know, like it's definitely one of those things that like probably is unexamined in the text. It's definitely unexamined in the text of the movie, but
just a interesting choice of words, guys.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah.
Before we get into it, I want to say the thing I referenced at the top, like the treat. PR brought this up that this movie treats Christianity and specifically Catholicism like it treats all the lore of it with the same like weight that like Hollywood would typically treat like more like typically Eastern religions, in terms of like you can just do whatever you want, like. Yeah, sure. This like none of this has to be like compliant with any canon. Like this is like plucking from the canon of Christianity, of Catholicism, and just saying, okay, so this means this and this means this, and these do not contradict each other, despite the fact that they would contradict each other if you knew anything about the source material. And I think more movies need to do this. I think more movies need to treat Catholicism as just like, you can do this to it. You can do this to this religion.
For sure, and that, I think that's definitely in line with the intention of the creator of the character, Alan Moore. Like Alan Moore is definitely like a person who I would.
Oh, this is a Moore joint, yeah.
Yeah. Moore created the character for Swamp Thing way back in the '80s, and when he created the character was like just like a generic like supernatural advisor to Swamp Thing. And as he grew into being his own character, he was basically this character who like exemplifies like what I could only describe as like what PR was referencing, like the idea of like using the trappings of Catholicism and like more heretical strains of Christianity as like givens and as like legitimate forms of expression. It's like Alan Moore really worships like the ground that William Blake walked on, and when William Blake was alive, like he was raised by a bunch of like, for lack of a better word, fucking weirdos. Like his family were known as.
Wait, hold on. Fucking weirdos, complimentary or derogatorily? I need to know, because I have many friends I would describe as fucking weirdos, as lovingly as I possibly can.
Well, I would say good, because William Blake was raised by like who were like people who were known as dissenters. They were basically like sort of like proto-anarchist, like not really cool with the Protestant church at all. They very much saw organized big church religion as like a detriment to faith. And he was a really weird guy, because like Blake wasn't like an elitist in that way. He was more of a person who was just like, what if religion wasn't deployed by the rich and wealthy to just completely subjugate over everybody.
Right.
And Moore takes this like inclination that Blake had to like expose and have social commentary with religion, and turned it into this like aesthetic where it's like, you have these characters who are magicians, they deal in the occult, they deal in all of this stuff, but they're also like deeply humanist characters.
There is a basis in Christianity and the canon of Catholicism, but there is no like reverence for it the way you would see out of like a typical, like I expected this movie to be more like, I don't know, hardcore Catholic in a way.
Oh,
like,
yeah.
Like,
yeah.
I didn't expect, like, I knew, like, the boilerplate pitch, but, like, I wasn't expecting it to be, like, God, I wasn't expecting it to God's Not Dead me, but also I was just really not expecting the way they, like, play with the canon of, Western Catholicism and Christianity.
Absolutely. It's like John Constantine is less a priest and more like a exterminator. He like he no more worships the god that like he talks about like in passing more than like an electrician worships the concept of lightning. Like, it's like these are mere formalities to him.
It's just it's a very interesting thing that like they remove the concept of faith from it all, and it just becomes this is real. This is all just like it's like if there was a Buffy the Vampire Slayer episode where they had to kill like the angel Gabriel. Which actually no, I need to take that back. There were was Angel an actual? No, Angel was a vampire who was named Angel. I don't think there were actual angels in Buffy. Did not see enough of Buffy to definitively say this though.
There were definitely angels in Supernatural though, which was
a shitload of angels in Supernatural.
Which was a big thing that I was really into at the time that Constantine came out, and probably was a really big reason as to like why I snuck in to see this movie when it was released in theaters.
God, this would have been contemporaneous with the start of Supernatural. This movie came out the same year that Supernatural started, because Supernatural before this movie came out after Supernatural started, because Supernatural took a season or two off, and then they've done 15 seasons total, which ended in 2020. Shit, man, this movie Supernatural started before this movie. This movie's post 9/11, post Supernatural.
This movie is a lot of things. It's definitely like it definitely scratched that itch for me as a kid, where like I would spend all my time in the library looking up like old old grimoires written in like the 18th century, and I read the Key of Solomon, and like I to say that I believed in all of those things as a kid would be a stretch, but what I took away from that time in my life was that there's a world of religion out there, and you don't really know how to appreciate that when you're raised in like in North America, because all of our lives, like our social lives, our political lives, are wrapped in this like quite recent and very evangelical sense of like the view of the world. It's like our scope of what is possible and what is imaginable within like the metaphysical universe is very, very, very narrow when we're raised.
It's fucking Plato's cave. The shadows on the wall are just like December 25th being the most important holiday of the year or whatever. Like I've become much more like worldly, I guess, but like even growing up in a family that was just like not even like really hardline Christian, just kind of like I mean we went to church, but like not really hardline. Like just so much of the world is in the eyes of it is seen through the Christian, like, let me put on my nightmare vision Christianity goggles. Oh my god, everything's exactly the same. Really. And so like this movie is kind of like, that's what John Constantine said at age 6.
I could see everything. See too much as it turns out.
Yeah.
But yeah, so you want to get into this plot?
Fuck yeah, I would love to. So we open in, I believe, Mexico.
Yes.
And there's two guys who are digging up a looks like maybe like in a just like a little like an abandoned building. They're just looking for some supplies and stuff.
Yeah, yeah. They're it's like the middle. It's like getting towards evening, and I think it's like a ruined church. Like that's my instinct is that it's like a ruined church, and they're just kind of like.
I'll say there's definitely a like yellow tinted filter over this. It is far less harsh than I expected out of this movie. Like there's a very small bit of one, I think, but it's like I don't know. It's nice to sometimes see Mexico depicted as like a fine, like an okay place without that's not like like I'm looking through a pair of fucking gunners at it.
Yeah, yeah, like that definitely would have taken off more in like the later years. Like that would have been more stringent. But it's a lot more underplayed here because we have two gentlemen who are like scavenging around this like the ruins of this church. And
well, because the very first thing we see is just like a title crawl that's like the Spear of Destiny, which has been missing since World War II, blah blah blah. And one of the guys digs up a Nazi flag which has a spear of some kind wrapped up in it. Like it's very clearly supposed to be the Lance of Longinus, but it looks like the fucking stake driver from Bloodborne.
Yeah,
it looks really
with the
short.
with the serial number scratched off.
Yeah, right. Like this looks so weird as a spear, as a weapon in general. To me,
yeah, it's very gold, which makes me think that like, why would anyone wield this as a weapon? Because
very
it's
short too.
Yeah, very short, and so it appears to be like the tip of a spear just broken off. And
that does make more sense. Yeah,
yeah.
The part of the Lance of Longinus that went through Asuka's Eva and came out the back end.
Yeah. We all remember.
We've all seen End of Evangelion here.
Yeah.
God, it's been too long. It's been like a decade. That scene's burned into my mind, though.
Yeah. I gotta watch the rebuilds, but Evangelion fucked me up. Evangelion's on the extreme end of like using Catholicism as an aesthetic. This is more in the middle ground.
Using Catholicism as an aesthetic to the point that everyone watching it thinks you're a Catholic.
Yeah. But yeah, so after
guy finds the Lance of Longinus wrapped up in the Nazi flag, and he takes it and goes Gollum mode immediately.
Yeah, car wrap any percent around the guy.
Yeah, he runs out to the street, and like a car like passes by on this road that has not had any traffic on it for the entire duration of the film so far, and just careens into him. He gets like bent over it, but then he just like jumps out of the wreckage and just starts fucking running.
Yeah,
Are we to assume that he didn't run all the way. He stole a car, right? I was going to ask if we're to assume that he just ran all the way to Angel City, which is where the movie takes place.
Yeah, we all know where it is.
Yeah.
It was a really great it's a really great scene where the car smashes into him. The car going at what appears to be like 90 miles per hour. It's like a country road, so like him getting smashed into this car is like, okay, that would have wiped out anybody. It's not like an ambiguous kind of car accident.
Yeah.
The car wraps around him and he just walks away.
Yeah.
And so we cut to Angel City, the city of the angels.
Yeah.
And
it's not Los Angeles, it's Angel City. Fucking
yeah.
This woman is trying to bring like breakfast to her daughter or something, and she opens the door and her daughter is doing a reverse cabedon in the corner, like demon shit crawling over the walls, etc. etc. She drops the tray and screams. Then we get John Wick rolling up, John Constantine rolling up, fucking swagged out, like looking like wearing an exorcist's get up, but just looking really, really scruffled about it. He's got a cigarette hanging out of his mouth. He like drops it out of the car, just fucking dripping as he walks into this apartment.
Yeah, Keanu is sporting walked off the set of the third Matrix movie.
Yeah,
hair. So it's the short hair with like just a little bit of product that's keeping all the strands pointed up in the air. So
Yeah.
if you like Keanu Reeves' long hair, you're gonna have to unfortunately deal with short hair Keanu this movie.
Short hair Keanu fucks to me.
Yeah, it's not bad. Yeah, like I have the long hair, so I don't need Keanu to have long hair. He can have short hair.
Right. At that point, you're just gonna when you kiss, it's just gonna get like the hair all tangled up, and you don't want that.
Yeah, my hair is being pulled, not his.
Yeah. Fuck.
So so John walks out of the cab and that he arrived in and walks through the apartment building, gets to the apartment that the young woman was getting
Possessed in.
possessed in, and as he passes the mother when she's I think it was a man. He said he was upset that he had to tie her down, quote unquote. And it's a very interesting scene because like
first of all, the demon has minion voice. The demon is like saying "Banana, John Constantine."
yeah. Kind of have a little bit of a golem mixed with a minion.
Yeah.
And so she's.
I bet there's some great art of that out there. Like I bet I could search like minion golem right now. Let me see what I got.
Oh my God, no! Sarah, are you looking at what I'm looking at?
Let me post it in the guest room channel, and we'll see.
Oh God! No, that's not what I was looking at. I was looking at this one. Hold on. Quick detour for this one. This one's going to be for all the. This one's for all the people who are waiting for the next. The next Wonder Years to update. There's an anamorph of Gollum turning into a minion.
Oh my God! There's a dragon minion too. Oh, this looks great.
But anyway, back to the real exorcism, and not just to exercise the image from my mind. Let's get back to the movie.
So John Constantine manages to manages to get the demon out of there, but it's not actually there, and the demon like jumps like bulges out of the woman's neck, and it looks good for 2005 especially.
Yeah, very good. And it looks like a face coming through, trying to come through skin, and it's trying to come through like her neck. And he like instinctively punches the young woman's neck, and so that the demon goes back into her body.
Yeah.
But there's this really cool scene before he starts interrogating the demon where he has like this keychain of like of little like religious icons, and he's holding it up to the sun while he's looking out the window, and he's like, as he holds each one to the sun, it's like he's checking to see which one will upset the demon. And when he pulls out the one that upsets the demon, it like reacts. And that reminds me of the scene in The Mummy when the guy is trying to appease Imhotep, and he's like pulling out all the religious symbols, and like because he's got the necklace of like religious icons, and he keeps like doing prayers in like different languages. And then the one that finally works gets Imhotep's like attention, and I don't know. I just love that. I love that John Constantine has a keychain full of what could only be described as like religious pogs. that he's just like holding him up to the light to see which one will work on the demon.
Yeah, and one of them eventually works.
Yep, one of them eventually works, and he presses it into the forehead of the young girl, and that sort of subdues it for a little bit. But eventually, he has to do another next step, which involves other denizens of the apartment holding a mirror above the bed facing the woman, and him like jumping on the bed and straddling the woman and doing something to like trick the demon into jumping into the mirror. Which they then fling out the window, and it crash lands on Shia LaBeouf's car. Because Shia LaBeouf's in this movie. He's John Constantine's taxi driver, and he's doing some taxi driver shit in the cab. Yeah, this is Chaz. Chaz Kramer, asshole.
Hey, it's Chaz Kramer. You talking to me? I'm Chaz Kramer.
Yeah.
Watch out, I'm Chaz Kramer. I'm gonna go say the N-word at the Shout Factory.
Oh god. Oh god. Oh god. Yeah, it's really unfortunate because Chaz is a character from the Hellblazer comics, and I believe is very similar to this movie in that he's like sort of like like an apprentice to John, but it's a lot more of a nuanced and interesting relationship than in this one, because unfortunately within the text of Hellblazer, John Constantine is bisexual. That is missing from the movie, which is, I think, its only real drawback.
I think there's definitely some vibes that I got from like him and Balthazar. Is that the name of the guy? Like the Papa Midnight's right hand guy that fights with John a couple of times.
Yes.
Like I definitely get some vibes from that.
Balthazar calling him John Boy is a little like, oh, okay.
He also like when he gets face to face with John and sticks like fingers in his mouth and says like, I bet you taste finger looking good, which is like I just, that is like extreme, like that feels like something that a Bond girl would say to James Bond, and then they would cut to them just like porking her in the next scene.
Maybe, yeah. I haven't seen the newest one, but if they have the KFC, deal, then good for them, There's a really funny bit of like ad placement in this movie that I would like to bring up eventually, but
yeah.
So,
flag me down when we get there, but
yeah.
So they toss the demon out of the building in the mirror. They explode in the car, and John like struts over to the lit cigarette that he just left on the counter, like picks it up and just takes a big fucking drag off of it. Just, oh god. Mwah.
Yeah, this movie has a lot of the things that if this movie had been made in 2014, 2015, it would have like been one of those neon noir films, and people would be gushing over it, I think. And I truly believe that, like, that scene where he like the amount that he's smoking, like, unfortunately would make really cool like images like that people would like be postering everywhere and appear in gift sets on Tumblr and stuff. But Tilda Swinton's fucking amazing, and like is doing this thing that like I think like I really appreciated when I saw the movie, which was that there's no concept in my mind of angels having gender, and that to me in my head I think is like one of those things that like lodged in my brain as like the concept of having no gender was associated with angels and demons,
right?
And so to see Tilda Swinton playing a character who was like that in this movie was like, oh, okay,
yeah.
Well, this is what it could look like if it was a person, but only through age and becoming wiser have I been able to see like what having no gender looks like, and
right?
It can look like anything, right? But yeah, after we get the mirror break and after Constantine inherits 7 years of bad luck,
yeah,
we have the scene where Constantine is he's at the doctor's, right?
Well, no. There's a couple of things that happen first. First, we meet fucking Pastor Hennessy.
Yeah. Pastor Hennessy is the one who alerts John to this
this possession that's happening in this residence.
Yeah, the possession of the young girl, and he says, I'm the one who I told you it was something real, and John and him have a little conversation, and John is acting like something that he's experienced and the exorcism is weird. And I think that what's interesting about that is that he doesn't necessarily like spill all the beans to Hennessy, but what he says to Hennessy is he says, I need you to, open your ears, quote unquote, and put your ear to the ground and let me know if anything happens.
Yeah.
And Father Hennessy is wearing this Celtic looking necklace.
Legendary Pictures logo necklace.
Yeah. And Constantine undoes it for him and puts it in his pocket. And we don't really know what this means later, but eventually we discover that Hennessy has this ability to sort of in a sort of Professor Xavier kind of way, sort of like feel what's happening in like the ether and like kind of like what kind of spiritual activity is happening.
Right. The scene we get that shows his abilities later is like him just like rubbing his hands over a pile of like different newspapers and just like hearing echoes of like the news stories happening, like kind of like beaming into his brain.
Yeah, it's very interesting, and we don't get like an explanation of like why he has this ability.
Right.
It's just like we're trusted with the information that he has this ability, and that he A, drinks, and B, wears this necklace to help him deal with the constant traffic that's happening in his head.
Right.
But it's not in like but again, in another movie, this would be like, a person who experiences mental illness, who's like, being treated and is like an unstable person. It's just like, no, this is like, we're not going for that trope. We're going for a guy who, self-regulates and self-medicates, yes, but also has this ability.
Right.
But yeah,
the next thing that we get is we meet our other protagonist of this movie. God, not Isabel. My notes call her Angela. Well, no.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay. Sorry. Yes, we do meet Angela, and we get like this. We get her heading up to confessional, and is like, "Forgive me, Father, for I have sinned. I killed another man today. I knew exactly where to shoot him. I felt like the vibes, and I knew exactly where he would dodge, where I would find him, and I always know, and it really scares me." And then we find out that she's a cop.
Yeah.
Which is
Angela Dodson. Yeah.
Angela Dodson, who has a twin sister who we see jump off a. We see her say, "You can't do this on concrete," and jump off of a very tall window in a hospital into a pool beneath, a cross-shaped pool beneath.
Yeah.
And she has like a mark on her wrist, the same mark that we saw on. We saw a similar mark on the guy at the very, very start of the movie.
When the scavenger picks up the spear of destiny.
Yeah.
A symbol that looks very much like the Zodiac symbol, or for all of you Marble Hornets heads, the operator symbol.
It's what did I call it in the Zodiac symbol. That's what I said. Yeah.
Yeah, it's a circle with a it looks like a target.
Basically. Yeah. It looks like what Bullseye has tattooed on his head in Daredevil 2000s movie.
Oh God, another 2000s gem. We meet Angela. She's a repenting person. She's a very devout person. So we have voiceover of her confession, and then we have a little bit of what the priest is says back to her. But this narration is happening while she's returning home from her day at work, and she sleeps, and we have a dream sequence where, again, you can't do this on concrete. Her twin Isabel, jumps off the roof of the hospital that she's staying at, and crashes through a glass ceiling and then into a pool of water, and then Angela wakes up because she was seeing all these events as though it were a dream. Yes, and it's a very disturbing thing. And so after the dream sequence, I think that's when we cut to... This
is when we get John Constantine waking up and coughing some blood into the sink, and he goes to the doctor, and he's like, "Damn, my foot." I've been killing demons, the things that I've seen, and I'm gonna die because of this. And he holds up a cigarette because he's smoked. What do they say later, that he's smoked 30 cigarettes a day since he was 15 or something?
Yeah. Gabriel says you smoked 30 cigarettes a day since you were 15, and his lungs look fucked.
That's so much cigarettes to smoke since you were age 15.
His lungs look like two bears high-fiving. like they don't say it, but we're all thinking it, you know.
I'm sure Gabriel is speaking metaphorically when they say, like, when they're speaking like hyperbolically when they say 30 cigarettes a day since age 15. It is very funny to imagine a 15-year-old waking up one day and just deciding, yeah, grip it and rip it, baby. Hand me that pack of cigarettes. I've never smoked before, but I'm smoking 30 today. God, we're like 20 minutes into this movie.
Classic fear baiting episode with me.
I mean, quote unquote with you. Like, this happens with a lot of people.
Yeah. Classic fear baiting
episode. I think I as a person just tend to like. I think you and I have a specific chemistry where we just like both build off of each other's tangents, but like. Yeah. I definitely am someone who just like goes off on these tangents, and I'm allowed to do. It's my fucking show. What do you can't stop me. You're a guest.
I can't stop you, and even worse, I will blindly follow you down these tangents.
Delightful. Okay.
Like I am an extraterrestrial, and you are throwing Reese's Pieces on the floor, and I'm just following them.
I'm just imagining you like fucking like a picture of you rescaled to look like fit the dimensions of E.T. is.
Oh God!
I just want to see E.T. but with your hair.
New profile picture. You want me?
Right, we can buy that picture you've got has served you well for a good long while, but.
Now it's time to show the real me.
It's time to show the real you, E.T. with your hair.
After the visit to the doctor, Constantine's looking for answers, because he's been told basically it's 6 months to maybe a year. He's real fucked. So he goes to a church library.
Yeah, first we meet Beeman, I think. Beeman, he's a...
Yeah, and so Beeman is like this guy who basically supplies Constantine with all the good shit. The goods,
yeah,
as it were.
And there's a really fascinating look into like the lore of this universe, because one of the things that he supplies him with is dragon's breath.
Yeah, which is like it looks like a Harry Potter wand that just shoots
just
out fire.
Blasts you with fire, yeah.
It's fucking great.
So he just gets a couple of things, and he gives John a cough suppressant, and John talks about how he's like, oh, the demon seemed like it was trying to like break through to our world, which doesn't make any sense, but it's weird. Fucking, we go to the library. And we meet Tilda Swinton, who's got these fucking massive wings. And
yeah.
Are you familiar with the books of Maximum Ride, the James Patterson young adult series about the 6 teenagers who have been genetically modified to have wings?
No.
This was an instrumental book on my like this. I read those books at ages 13 to 15, and I think it is very, 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 very cool when characters have big wings.
I when I was younger, I drew human beings with wings all the time.
Yeah.
It is the coolest shit.
It's so sick. Also, like, imagine getting a hug from a person with wings. Like, they would do it like it's a double hug.
Yeah, like to me, it was like, okay, there was Superman flying, which was kind of cool, but also having like being able to fly with actual like bird wings,
right? Like
phenomenal.
Like this is why fucking Superman L plus Ratio plus Tobias Animorphs outsold plus plus your Clark Kent plus you work in a newspaper.
Yeah. It's just human beings with wings or humanoids with wings, so perfect.
Just nothing like it.
And it's a great reason to see Ragnarok because there are fucking Valkyries in that game thing.
So Tilda Swinton, there, she's playing the angel Gabriel, and first of all, we see Angela like begging with one of the priests who's at this library, like, please let my sister have a proper burial and the like proper Catholic burial. The Lord was her life, and the pastor's like, sorry, we can't. She committed suicide, and Isabel's like, well, that fucking sucks. Fuck, shit ass religion.
Yeah, and so it's just really kind of fucked, honestly. It's one of those things where, like, so I looked up the goofs of this movie and
The goofs.
Yeah, on IMDb, and apparently there's a point of contention around this particular plot. So there's a statement that says that modern Catholic Church recognizes that suicide is an aspect of mental illness, and that because Isabel was committed to a mental institution, that her suicide would be considered just a mere aspect of her mental illness and would not be a mortal sin.
Right.
Now, who's to say? Now, I don't know if this is like the Pope's like sock account or something, if he's doing actually on IMDb or whatever, but you know, it definitely was like one of those things where like, yeah, like there's a lot of talk about suicide in this movie, and there's a lot of like references to taking one's own life and like fate versus free will, and so what's interesting about this is that like there's a problem that's presented, but there's but for Angela Dawson's for Angela, there is, at this point when she receives the news that there's no chance for her sister to receive a Catholic burial, there's no way for her to resolve that issue.
Right.
So what we're seeing is like the intersection of like two particular like instances of like two storylines crossing that like don't have anything to do with each other yet, but will eventually.
Right.
And so when Angela I think we skipped over this part, but when Angela finds like goes to the scene of Isabel's
right, she goes to the crime
death,
scene.
The crime scene is in a wing of the same hospital that John is getting his test results at.
Yeah.
So and there's this interesting moment before they go to the library and before they meet Gabriel where John is taking the elevator down, and Rachel, I keep referring to her as Rachel because
Rachel Wise.
Because it's Rachel Wise, who's phenomenal in this one, where Angela says, "Can you stop the elevator? Are you going down?" And John says, "Not if I can help it." And it's like they're both at the scene where their lives have basically sort of like been incredibly disrupted. John with the cancer diagnosis and the given the basically the terms of his life,
right?
And Angela, who's basically been told that her where she realizes that this dream that she had was actually real and actually had happened, and so. Yeah, so getting to the library scene, you know, John is talking to Gabriel and Angela is talking to the priest. You know,
they're both just like basically directly told like, sorry, nothing to do here, like, because we already talked about Angela getting told, sorry, your sister can't have a proper Catholic burial, but Gabriel also says to John, like, you tried to kill yourself, like, you're locked out of heaven. No matter how many demons you kill and send back to their proper wherever they belong, like, you are not getting into heaven. She says you're gonna die early and also go to hell. Ratio, you're fucked.
Yeah, and also what's interesting is that like so Gabriel doesn't say you tried to commit suicide. Gabriel says you, because of what you've done, because of the life you took, you're not going to go to heaven, and also. You like human beings can go to heaven if they have faith, but you cannot have faith because you know the truth.
Right. It's no longer a thing of faith. It's just this is the fact or not.
Yeah, you know that
John Constantine # believes science, and that's why you need to vote for him in 2020.
Oh God. I would vote for. You know what? I can't even vote in your fucking elections, and I would vote for him. So John mentions he has a statement after Gabriel says, you believe, you can see the truth. John says, I didn't ask for this gift. I didn't ask to be able to see like angels and demons. I didn't ask for this shit. And it's really interesting kind of like dichotomy where like John's this person who is like essentially cursed with this perception of being able to see angels and demons walking on the mortal plane, and and having to deal with the reality of that situation, and then sort of like what he did to cope with that situation, what he did to alleviate that pain, is something that still carries over with him. And so despite the fact that he probably is aware of the fact that he can't change his fate, he continues to do this thing, which is essentially good, but also seems to not make a difference.
Yeah.
So it's interesting. It's interesting to think about like that sort of characterization. So there's a book that I read last year called The Last Policeman, and it's a novel about a man who's a detective and on Earth. And so before the events of the book, scientists find out that there's a astral body that is heading towards Earth and will hit Earth and destroy it in 6 months. And he finds the detective finds an apparent suicide at like this like diner or whatever. But he doesn't think that it's an actual suicide. He thinks it's a murder. And so the narrative is about him investigating the murder while the Earth is set to basically be over. And it's a novel about a lot of things, but it's a novel about what do you like what does it mean to give a shit when it feels like nothing you do matters.
Right. Like the ultimate, like nothing you got 6 months, you're raking leaves on a windy day no matter what you fucking do. What are you doing?
Yeah, and so for the protagonist of The Last Policeman, he's like he just knows that this has to be taken care of because like it's the only thing that he believes in. And so John, going through the motions of confronting these brutal sort of like ethereal and immortal creatures, for the monicum of a chance that he could actually right the wrong that he did, is really kind of interesting. And it shows that like even that a character can be flawed by being irrational but not necessarily do something bad. Does that make sense?
Yeah, very much so. So basically what happens next is that John and Angela's paths cross. Angela is watching like CCTV footage of Isabel's suicide from the roof of the hospital the night she jumped off, and she hears Isabel turns with the camera and says Constantine, but then like she rewinds it, and then Isabel didn't say it that time, so much to think about. And also at the same time, Father Hennessy finds out about Isabel's suicide, so their paths are starting to get closer and closer together.
Yeah.
Constantine gets attacked by a bug man.
Yes, yeah. This was really great. So, John is grabbing he grabs a pack of cigarettes. This is as soon as he's left the library. He just like beelines it for a gas station, grabs a pack of smokes, and as he's like pulling the cigarette out, he gets confronted by somebody.
Yeah, a guy walks up and is like, got a light.
And he's like, he reaches down. John reaches into his pocket, grabs a matchbox that has a cricket in it.
Yeah,
that was given to him by Beeman, and he shakes the matchbox, and the sound that this cricket makes causes this demon to basically burst into its true form, which is like a collection of bugs
Right.
and like crustaceans. Like he's also like a part crab. Which
Yeah,
is really
crab,
funny.
spider, like
Centipede,
bugs, centipede,
like, yeah.
snake. Like I remember like a snake or two in there. There's like a lot of critters.
Yeah.
They tussle a bit, but John redirects the Bugman into the path of a car, which is surprisingly effective against. Like it doesn't kill him for good, but it's surprisingly effective against him.
Yeah,
We get a fun little shot of the inside of the car, like just getting its windshield completely splattered with bug guts.
it was almost like a scene out of Men in Black.
Yeah. And then John stomps on some bugs and dusts himself off. He does the fucking Tumblr daddy Dom takes off his belt and like starts whipping the bed to get the bugs off.
Slices bed.
Yeah. John slices bed.
Yeah. So
they go to Papa Midnight's place, which is like a bar, which is like a neutral zone for demons and humans. This entire scene fucking rules, like because John rolls up and this bouncer who's like looking like just fucking like your standard leather twink you'd see at Pride, very very handsome, jacked, wearing some kind of bondage gear on his chest.
Yeah.
And he holds up a card with a drawing on the back of it, and he holds the card back. He holds the back of the card up to John, and John just walks by and is like, three frogs on a wheelchair, three frogs on a merry-go-round or something, and that's what it is. And he walks past. The guy holds up another card for Shia LaBeouf, and Shia just says the exact same thing as John, and it's not that. It's a rat in a dress. The flourish of only people who can who have it, this just being a very simple in-out test is very funny to me. And then we get a bit of a showcase of these other demons that are down here. We see a guy he points at all the wine glasses and turns them, or he points at a bunch of water glasses, turns them all into wine. We see a bunch of demon eyes, just a little showcase of some freaks that live down here, and it's delicious.
The scene's great because there's a song playing during it called "Passive" by the band A Perfect Circle, and the scene is great because it's a club scene, but it's also like a seedy like basement bar type deal. It's kind of like a mix between the two. This scene, I think, more than any other in the movie, is like a scene that could show up in a John Wick movie, and if it was a scene, it's kind of like the Kaleida song scene in John Wick, where John Wick is killing all those people while the song is playing, and it's a really good scene, and the music is perfect for the scene, and it's just I love the scene so much. If you can find the passive A Perfect Circle scene for Constantine, watch that. If not the whole movie itself.
Yeah, watch. Honestly, I spoiler alert for the end of this movie, but I'm gonna slap a big old recommend on this one. I only gave it 3 stars on Letterboxd, but it's a very very fun 3 stars, an absolute delight of a film.
Yeah, absolutely. And
so we meet Papa Midnight, who is textually a witch doctor. And they just have a bit of back and forth, and Papa Midnight's like, I can't do it, John. I swore to be a centrist. I cannot tip the scales towards either angels nor demons, so I just have to chill in this cool bar. And he also says that John Constantine is the one guy whose soul Satan would come up here himself to collect, which is a baller and also set up for a great moment later in the movie. We meet this other guy, the aforementioned Balthazar, who is doing fuck me eyes at John Constantine. He's like Papa Midnight's right hand man, bodyguard kind of guy ish. That's the vibe that I get from this, but not from the rest of this movie, so it's weird. But he does the finger licking good thing to him, and they have a little tete-a-tete, and John walks out angrily.
Yeah. So when Angela finds the footage of Isabel saying Constantine's name, she does some behind the scenes, off screen. She does a lot of investigating about John, and she hears from people at the precinct about who John is, and it turns out it's this fucking rude asshole who she keeps running into. So she goes to his apartment and she says, I have a sister. Her name is Isabel. She died at the hospital. They say she jumped off a building, but she wouldn't do that because she's a devout Catholic. And John says, that sounds cool, but also your sister probably killed herself. I'm like, you're obviously like, he doesn't say this, but it's like it's obvious that he's like, this isn't weird. Like, you're just somebody who's grieving, so I can't really like be too hard on you, but also
like
you're kind of
face the
wasting
music,
my time.
face the music, sister. Girl, come on.
Yeah, and so when she leaves his apartment after he tells her to basically like leave, he sees like these shadows appear on his window. His apartment weirdly reminds me of the apartment that Eddie Brock has in Venom.
Oh yeah,
It's
Eddie
like,
Brock
there's
is you, and I'm the suit, so call me Venom.
Anyway,
sorry.
Venom and Constantine would make a great pair.
I think they should kiss.
I think they should get yeah, but anyway, so he's like, oh fuck, demons are here, and so he goes outside and he has this dialogue with Angela.
Well, yeah, because Angela like rolls up to his place and is like, hey, yeah, she leaves, and then he sees the bug demon like chasing. He sees like demons chasing after her. He chases her down and is like, hey, so the god and devil are constantly at war. And it just turns out that the god and the devil are having a proxy war of sorts where they cannot actively do anything, but they can influence things.
Yeah, he says explicitly, what if I told you that God and the devil had a wager, a sort of standing bet for the souls of all mankind? And Angela says, I would tell you to stay out, to keep taking your meds. Which is a hell of a thing for her to say after she also just tried to convince Constantine of something that may seem impossible.
Right.
And so he says, like, there's a balance, there's no direct interference, but there are these half angels and half demons who are like skirting the line
that he calls half breeds.
Yeah, which I don't love, but it. John is a very like cold person, like within the text of like the comics and stuff. So it's like I can kind of forgive him for being a little blunt and a little bit of an asshole, because it's in line with like this idea that he's a person who has no time on Earth.
Right.
He has no time and he needs to get shit done. So so as they're sort of speed walking to Angela's Ford Escapade circa 2005, all of the lights of the street turn off, and Angela's like, wow, that's weird, and John's like, you and I should probably go hang out by this display of the Virgin Mary across the street. And the demons that are approaching are like these like winged human beings, and like the sound of like what appears to be like bat wings is like hovering over them. And so Rachel's like, what's that sound? And John says, wings. And so as the lights are turning off completely on the street, he pulls out this cloth full of this like cloth like paper thing. And I'm sorry, are you familiar with the wrestling trick of flash paper?
I know what flash paper is. Yeah.
So that's
what Doctor Who does whenever he needs to convince someone that he's an important person. He flash paper.
Yeah.
Sorry, but I know what you mean.
Yeah. So yeah, he lights this cloth, and it creates this beam that basically is like kind of like a light bomb, and it like completely vaporizes this like legion of like 30 to 50 feral demons.
Yeah.
And so and immediately Angela gets sick. She starts throwing up because demons, as John informs, sort of like subtly hints at, is that bring the stink of hell with them, which is we're told sulfur.
Yeah, I think this is also around the time when we get that insane ad plug that it might be a different thing you're talking about. But are you talking when you said that like the Unreal like sponsorship? Are you talking about the part where it's like there's a billboard that says you're running out of time to purchase a new Kia?
No, actually, that's the billboard that John looks at after he gets the smokes but before he's confronted by
right
the bug man. the billboard that I want to bring up is coming up later.
Okay, because that one,
It's even
I just
funnier.
I delete my notes as we go, and that one just showed up at the bottom of my screen. But so John, after they dispel the demons and Angela gets a little sick from the sulfur stink, John says, let's find out if Isabel really didn't kill herself. And then like a bus drives by. Like the editing in this movie is ridiculous. Like the scene transitions are unhinged. Like it just makes no sense. The way some of these things, and again, it feels weird to be complaining about editing back to back on it, because I complain about the editing of Brightburn a lot, but it's just so weird in this.
There's no language for what kind of, because the movie is like at different points it's a mystery, but also sometimes it's horror, sometimes it's action. So it's like so a bus driving on a side of the road I've never seen a bus drive down. It's like the leftmost lane. Like jump scares behind John Wick as he says, like, let's find out for sure.
It's like the scene in Final Destination 1 where the girl's like, I hope you fucking drop dead, and then gets fucking creamed by a bus.
Yeah, basically.
I shouldn't have used the word creamed.
Yeah.
She got absolutely schlonged by that bus.
Gets absolutely bred by that bus. Just gets no nut November all over it.
She must be Daenerys Targaryen the way that bus Jon Snowed her.
Oh God, no.
Christ.
We have fun here.
Yeah. So we get a cool scene of John like going into hell to check some things out, which he does by sticking his feet in water and holding a kitty named Duck. And he's
a very good cat.
Yeah, a very cute kitty. He's conducting a little kitty seance, and he just arrives in hell, and this it looks like the city at the start of Infamous 1, like where everything is just exploded, and like it doesn't look like hell. It looks like burnt out, like down. Like it looks like if hell was a parallel dimension that existed on top of our existing universe, like
which is perfect for me.
There's like in your universe there's a corner store just down the road, but like in hell universe there's like a coroner store just down the road, and
in hell crazy bread is even crazier.
It's normal bread, actually. Heaven's got crazier bread. You gone to the have you gone to the Little Caesars on Heaven in Maine?
Oh God.
It's like the Little it's like instead of being like an X and a Y, like it's like we're like on 4th and Main, an X and a Y, it's like an X and a Z, like the on 4th and Heaven, like he's just up in the air a couple of feet.
Oh my God. It's the fucking platform.
You gotta get a if you. Oh God, I'll tell you though, the hell version of Little Caesars got some incredible normal bread. You do need like a tunneler to get yourself 3 feet underground to reach the entrance, though.
Yeah. You do have to do that.
You got to bore your way in there.
You have to do the Serbian dig to hell experiment.
Yeah.
Oh God. But yeah, so he shows up in hell, and he's like, he looks around, he goes around. Hell, it kind of looks like to me, because I don't have a great recollection of Infamous 1, but it looks like so Sarah Connor's vision of the nuclear explosion.
Yes.
Terminator 2. That scene.
God, I just watched Terminator 2 recently. Rewatched. Yeah. It's fucking good.
It's so good. The scene where the skin on her bones like flays off.
Yeah.
If you were just in the world while that was happening, that's what hell looks like.
Right.
There's like dilapidated cars and a highway and everything. It looks great. But he goes to the general area where the hospital was, and he sees on top of this pile of rubble, Isabel. And she's reenacting the scene that takes place just before she jumped off the roof. So she is indeed in hell. But what she did on the rooftop before she jumped off, was she removed the hospital tag from her wrist.
Uh-huh.
A wrist that had her wrist, which also had the mark of the zodiac, the symbol that the person carrying the spear of destiny also has.
Right.
She takes the hospital tag off, and she like lets go of it, and the wind carries it away. John then starts sprinting down the road and tries to climb on a bunch of cars to grab the hospital tag. And as he's doing so, all these demons are chasing him, and it's this amazing scene where he's running up all of these like cars, jumps up, grabs the hospital tag, and breaks a vial of, I believe, holy water on his chest, and gives himself, basically does a solo version of the wet t-shirt contest and brings himself back to the mortal plane.
Right.
At this point, there's this really amazing shot where Angela comes back into the room, and John is still sat in the chair, and he's smoking. Like, there's smoke coming off of his body.
Right, like brimstone.
And she like approaches him, and she's like, "What the fuck just happened?" Because she wasn't actually in the room when he disappeared. She leaves.
Right.
And when she comes back into the room, he holds up the hospital tag, and he says, that's where she is.
She's in hell. Sorry, babe.
Yeah. And so we get this, like, at the same time as we get this like really kind of fucked up news. We cut to Father Hennessy in the
morgue,
morgue,
like looking for Isabel, and he touches her, and she like starts burning. She finds the brand on his wrist, and he's like, he tries to take a swig from his flask, but he can't. And then he goes to like a local liquor store and starts like busting open all the bottles and can't drink from them. And then he like we see, like, we find out eventually that like his lungs are filling with water, but he can't drink anything. And he just dies from it. And this is implied to have been done by Balthazar somehow, because he's there watching it happen. And then we also find out that the random guy who's like at the register was an angel who just kind of had to watch this happen. Yeah.
It's very coincidental, the fact that the angel was the proprietor of the store. But it also makes sense in the sense that it feels like that's the case because if somebody like who looked like Father Hennessy came into a store and started breaking wine bottles in order to try and get like a drink out of them, like immediately the cops are getting called.
Right.
But because the angel is, we assume that the angel is like someone who's like aware of the nature of the situation, and like can't necessarily intervene. There's the scene in a cutaway while Constantine is talking about the nature of the balance, where we see that the proprietor of the store has angel's wings, and Balthazar, who is walking through the aisles, is like half demon. And it's a really interesting part. But before Hennessy can die, he grabs a corkscrew out of the those little plastic like bins that they have at the front of cash registers, and he carves the symbol that he saw on Isabel's wrist in the morgue into his hand.
Yeah.
And so when John finds Hennessy after the police have been called, he sees that Hennessy has carved something into his hand. He grabs an ice cube, sort of like washes away some of the blood, and then uses a handkerchief to basically create a negative of the image, which is the symbol.
Right. We also get a bit about we also get John's backstory here, which is that he's been able to see these things since he was a very little boy, and no one believed him. So in a final act of like just like pulling the plug on, he tried to pull the plug on his life and attempted, I don't want to say he attempted suicide, because John Constantine gets indignant when Angela asks if he attempted it, because he says, I didn't attempt shit. I was gone for 2 whole minutes. He
flatlined in the ambulance. But apparently, and something that we sort of experienced earlier is that when you go to hell, or when you die, like a minute on Earth when you're dead is like an eternity in hell.
Yeah. And John was
so-
there for 2 minutes.
yeah, and so this is when Angela sort of deduces that like John's line of work is a way to try and buy his way into heaven. And John has a really good point here, which is he says, "What would you do if you were sentenced to a prison where half of the inmates were put there by you?"
Right.
And it's like, wow, I mean, when you put it that way, his motivation is rock solid,
Yeah.
and so, but you get the feeling that the explanation that he would go through the lengths that he does after becoming aware that because he committed suicide, that he is damned to hell. Was he busting demons and stuff before he committed suicide?
No, I think he was just seeing them because he was a little kid.
Yeah, because so
Like I think he was like a
in this
teenager
instance-
when he tried to kill himself.
Yeah, so when he comes back to life, he basically makes this. He basically like sets himself on the path where he decides that he's going to commit his life to basically taking people who who cross the line in terms of the balance by either directly influencing human beings or by engaging in open combat to hell, basically, or he deports them as we mentioned.
Yeah,
before.
he deports the half breeds to hell.
Yeah. Oh, just a a mighty loaded statement there.
Yeah, really.
But yeah. So they have after like the day after they find Hennessy, they return back to the scene of the of Isabel's like distress, which they go to her hospital room, and this is when John sort of realizes. This is when John sort of like kind of puts puts the ringer to Angela, because going to hell, he finds out that Isabel is Angela's identical twin sister.
Yeah.
And so he takes Angela to Isabel's room at the mental hospital to try and unlock the connection that she and Isabel have that only they share with each other, and to really tap into like what Isabel's mindset was at the time. Like, how would she have tried to communicate to Angela, even if she couldn't call her? And Angela sort of has a breakdown when she sort of like admits basically that she and Isabel were really close at one point, but Isabel kind of believed more than Angela,
Right.
like in terms of like what she was seeing, and they would share messages with each other by like making by writing words on windows, and that would only appear if you used if like you blew on the window. And so she does so, and the word that appears is Core 1711, which for those of you who are Bible scholars, you will know that there is no 17th chapter of Corinthians. However, there is a 17th chapter of Corinthians in the Bible, in Hell.
In Hell Bible.
In Hell Bible.
The Hell Bible has DLC chapters.
New anime Hell Bible coming soon.
Oh god, I'm getting so sick of the filler in the Hell Bible.
But honestly, like once you get to the Endwalker expansion, it's actually pretty much worth it. No, I don't know anything about Final Fantasy.
Have you heard of the critically acclaimed MMORPG Catholicism? Now with the Bible is now free up to Corinthians. The award-winning Corinthians expansion
with no limits on read time.
Yeah.
Oh my! With no limits on prayer time.
Yeah.
what is Christianity but not the Final Fantasy of religions?
I mean, like honestly, like Christianity is a DLC religion because like the Old Testament that's Judaism, and then they said, okay, but there's a new one of those DLC.
Yeah, and depending on different regions, you get different content and stuff.
Uh-huh.
And yeah, well, what's interesting is that like growing up, like at the time, like I would have been like, well, I've actually read the Apocrypha, which I had at the time because I was a loser, and knowing back then that there were many versions of the Bible and that there were in fact many books of the Bible that were taken out, put back in, taken out, put back in, and knowing even now that the most complete version of the Bible with the most books is actually the Ethiopian Bible of all things. Well, it's for a very complicated reason, but being one of those kids who like knew that there were books that were in some versions of the Bible but not others.
Right.
This would have been a very much like a early like Leo pointing at the screen moment for me.
Yeah.
And so Constantine gets on the phone with Beeman after handing over the symbol, after describing the symbol that Hennessy carved into his hand, and he says, look up Corinthians 17:11.
Yeah, look up Corinthians 9:11.
Yeah, and so he Beeman pulls out the nastiest looking Bible you've ever seen. It's so sticky. It's got fucking resin on it.
Yeah.
It's got like plastic wrap, cling wrap on it. It's just nasty.
Right.
And so he opens it up to like this to like the Corinthians that passage that was mentioned, that was referenced on the window, and it's basically a layout of the whole plot.
Right, which is just that the Mammon, the son of the devil, is trying to open up a gateway into our world, right?
Yeah. Mammon's trying to birth himself.
Yeah.
And Mammon is the Antichrist, one of Lucifer's sons, and is trying to basically that Mammon is like tired of waiting for his dad to get his shit together, and he wants to take over the earth, and so he is trying to birth himself, which could only be done via possessing a powerful psychic and with the help of God. Very curious.
Yeah, God needs to pitch in on this one.
Yeah, using a powerful psychic and divine assistance, the psychic Isabel killed herself to basically stop Mammon from being able to be born, basically. And so when Constantine and Angela get back to John's apartment, they sort of have a conversation, and Angela talks more about when they were growing up. They both saw things too, or they both felt things like psychic experiences, but Angela was like, well, she repressed them, and so Isabel was a person who, like John, was pathologized, who was someone who was like seen as not well,
right?
And Angela has guilt over not sticking up for Isabel to their parents, and very much an interesting moment where Angela kind of has this moment where she's like, I need to get close to this. I need to be able to see what you see, and so John has to do this ritual with her, where it's a really great scene, where John fills his bathtub full of water.
Well, did we talk about Beeman biting it first?
Oh yes, no wait. I think this happens after they do the ritual.
The order of my notes is immutable.
Yeah, well, yeah. So yeah,
we're skipping over because Beeman dies because he finds out all the stuff, and like the bug man is trying to kill him before he can relay this information to John. They don't make it in time, and they find a bunch of bugs. They find Beeman having just been eaten by a bunch of bugs. And Beeman's like little Beeman, like his office is behind the bowling lanes in a bowling alley, like on the other side of the machinery. And he's got like a bunch of jars hanging from the ceiling, like the fucking like the jars in the ceiling in the spawn room of Dead Cells.
Yes. Oh my god.
And Rainbow Dash is chilling in one of them, and John goes outside and sees a billboard that says "Got Faith."
Yeah, that's the billboard that I thought was great. Oh my god, it's probably one of the all-time great like ad placements in movies,
right?
To me,
yeah. God, it's such a funny non-ad. Like, at least you're running out of time to buy a Subaru was like an ad for I don't remember what car it was, but like it was ostensibly an ad for a
Chevy.
Car. But this is just like them cribbing the Got Milk like marketing campaign for Got Faith, and it's like someone pouring water into a wine glass and it turns into wine. So yeah, we get like for the first time in an hour, we see the guy from the start of the movie, and he just like steals a car, and it's a 30-second scene where he walks up to a car. There's like a reverse shot of him with the guy who's sitting in the car owner, and then we just cut to like the road with that car like squealing out into the squealing out into the open road.
So yeah, after Beeman dies, they do the ritual in the bathtub. And there's this really funny scene where Angela is like filling up the bathtub with water, and Angela says, "Do I have to take off all my clothes, or can I leave this on?" And John's just like standing there, and there's this like moment where she's like where there's like a pause, and she's like, "John," and he says, "I'm thinking," and then he says with a smile on his face, like, this amount of clothes is fine. And I thought it was nice.
Yeah.
It was a funny comedic tension building moment where obviously like Angela was also like kind of like smiling very wryly, and yeah, it wasn't like a gross like you could take it off more if you want. It's like it was just subtle.
Yeah.
And it was something that I liked.
Yeah. The straight baiting that happens in this movie is delectable.
Yeah, there's a lot of straight baiting actually.
Yeah.
Oh god. But yeah.
They have Angela hop in the bathtub to lubricate the transition into hell. And I love to lubricate my transition. And she starts having so John like just holds her in under the water in the bathtub until she nearly dies.
Yeah.
And she starts having trouble breathing. John, she almost dies, but she bursts out of the tub and is like, "Oh my god, this was all because of like this is what all my this her thing at the start of the movie talking about when she went to confessional was like, oh, why am I so good at being a cop?" It turns out she was so good at knowing exactly which way everyone she was ever going to be in a gunfight with was going to dodge was because she was a psychic cop. And they never stood a chance in hell of evading her because she just, psychic cop. She knows exactly where you're going to dodge the bullet from.
Yeah. And so when she enters this trance when she returns from hell, and the trance leads her back to Beeman's like little like work area, and that's where she finds a coin in the grate sort of like floor that's like underneath them, and the coin belongs to Balthazar. We've seen him do the coin walk with his fingers a couple of times, like in a couple of scenes, but this scene is they finally have proof positive that they can present to Midnight that Balthazar was sort of like crossing boundaries, and that there was a war happening, and that the balance was being upset and violated, basically.
Yeah.
But before they go talk to Papa Midnight, Constantine finds Balthazar, and of course, where would you, Sarah, think that you would find a half-breed demon who was white, very well, obviously wealthy, and was like a person who's trying to manipulate mortal affairs?
Joe, if I knew that, I would be outside Jeff Bezos' front door right now.
See, that's it. Outside of a large corporate office building.
Exactly.
And so Balthazar is doing meetings in a boardroom or whatever with himself, and Constantine runs in there, fucking like beats the shit out of Balthazar. Splashes holy water on his face, and then
he starts melting, and more like Balthazar dead-y.
But John has these brass knuckles that are like have like holy symbols carved into them, and he uses these brass knuckles to
we've gotten
this wail on Balthazar.
We've also gotten this part of this movie, and we haven't talked about the fucking gun that he builds out of like when I talk about how like Catholicism is just a fun thing you can just mess with in this one, like. The idea of this gun that is again shooting quote unquote dragon's breath. It shoots the dragon's breath, and he has fitted it into like remember like the giant in the Matrix, that one guy who's got like the shotguns with like the fucking giant circular magazines on them. It's like the Striker from Resident Evil 4,
or the EVA 8 for Apex Legends.
Yeah. The EVA 8. Yeah, thank you. And the. It's fit into like this golden gun where like the top of it is shaped like it has like a crossbar, so it is just literally a cross that is blasting like dragon's breath out of it's delicious, delectable.
Yeah, one of the all-time best movie weapons. I
Easily.
wish I had one.
Like I cannot I'm trying to think of movie weapons that are better than this, and it's like not a very long list.
The shells are made out of gold.
Yes,
that's harvested from melted crosses. What the fuck? Like, and Constantine fucking brains the hell out of Balthazar. He says, why, like what is Mammon's fucking deal? Like, why? Like what's gonna happen? And so Balthazar gives it all up. Basically, he's like, we have to like this is what's going to happen. And so, no, actually, Balthazar resists until Constantine pulls out his Bible, his epic pocket Bible.
His Bible.
And he says, I'm going to give you your last rites. And if I give you your last rites, you are entitled to go to heaven. A demon in heaven. Can't imagine it would be too pleasant for you. And so, before he can finish the ritual, Balthazar basically spills the whole beans about the plan and says, it's too late already. Like you're like Mammon's gonna get his way, and you're fucked. And so Constantine's like, well, fuck you then. I'm out of here. And so he leaves. And he leaves after shooting Balthazar's head off with the shotgun.
Right, but Balthazar is not actually Balthazar Daddy at that point.
No, he's still alive. He's
still alive, but he gets killed by some unseen force later.
Yes. He says, I did your bidding, blah blah blah. We're cool, and then he gets withered away.
He gets Thanos snapped.
Pompeii style. Yeah.
Yeah, the fucking just like he's like starts dying, and just there's like a quiet playing in the background.
And so Balthazar, part of Balthazar's like disclosure is where it's going to happen, and that's going to be at the site where Isabel was originally going to do the thing. But as they're going to, as they're sort of like trying to figure things out, Angela gets straight up abducted.
Yeah, she gets yanked out of the building by some unseen something, like the same unseen force that kills Balthazar, I think. And John like goes in like, all right, we gotta fuck this thing up mode. He heads to Papa Midnight's club, and the leather boy at the door gets fucking like John walks up, like does the little what's on the side of this card thing. He does that and then says sorry and fucking decks the guy.
Yeah, it's fucking great. And there is unfortunately a cool line that Kaz says, which is who's the rat in the dress now, bitch?
Yeah.
Which is kind of funny,
yeah.
But but yeah, so they confront Midnight, and
they confront Midnight. Papa Midnight, and he says, Papa Midnight, your inaction is getting people killed. Quit saying I just need to fucking vote.
quit being a centrist about this.
And Papa Midnight is like, well, okay, I guess I see the direct action is the only way forward, and he John and him set up a DIY electric chair, and he sends him to hell.
Yeah, and the reason why he goes through this electric chair, which apparently was used in Sing Sing prison, he is because this chair basically allows whoever sits in it to basically not only visit hell but also see visions of what they're looking for, and he uses the chair to track down the scavenger who has the Sword of Destiny and who has taken Angela. And so he finds out where he is, and so he's like, okay, well, and he also finds out not only where he is but how much backup he has. And so they set out they all, the three of them, Papa Midnight, Constantine, and Chaz, they basically develop a plan to basically get into this place, rescue Angela, and stop Mammon. And so part of the sort of arc of this story is that Chaz is like an apprentice to John, but John keeps trying to hammer into this idea to Chaz that it's not like the books. But Chaz has a moment where he says, like, listen, there are crosses that can sanctify and turn naturally occurring waters into holy water. If we had one of those crosses, we could use those to create holy water in the sprinkler system. And Midnight and Constantine like look at him like, that's actually a really good idea. And then Midnight says, let him go with you, but kill him after. And it's a very funny moment. So yeah, they reload on some shells, they make some more bullets, they get all their shit together, they grab the cross, and Midnight says a prayer for both of them before they leave. And yeah, we're now set for the final confrontation with Mammon.
Yeah.
It basically, so yeah, they head towards the hospital where Isabel was kept and where she died, and the
guy from the start of the movie, we see him for the third time.
Yeah,
it's just so weird how not involved in this movie that guy is.
Yeah, despite the fact that he's like the vessel for the Spear of Destiny.
Yeah.
Yeah. What's great is that there's a scene where Angela wakes up in the pool where her sister died, and when she wakes up, she pulls out her gun, and she has a psychic sense that the guy who brought her there is behind her. She turns around, unloads her gun into the guy, and he just keeps walking towards her while in the pool.
Yeah.
And I thought that was really cool, is that she knew exactly where he was behind her.
Yeah, she's got that psychic shit.
Yeah.
John walked into the hospital and was like, oh, time for one last show. And he puts holy water in the sprinkler system and gets and just blasts all the demons in the hospital with it, which is very funny scene.
Yeah. You are in violation of the balance.
Yeah. He blasts through a bunch of them with his cool fucking gun, and
so fucking
his
cool.
fucking swag ass gun.
Yeah, it's like it's a beautiful gun, and it fires these amazing like holy like shotgun shells at these fucking nasty ass demons. And once he's done fighting all the demons, he busts into the room where Angela's being held. She is passed out on the floor outside of the pool, and there's no one else in sight. The guy who brought the Spear of Destiny is dead. They try and awaken Angela, and
there's a fucking guy. There's a guy in her stomach.
Yeah. She is with child in the worst way possible. We get more face coming through skin 3D effect, which is actually really cool. And then Constantine puts his hand on her stomach and starts doing a prayer, and it seems to be working a little bit, but not very much. And then Chaz and him do the prayer together.
And then Chaz gets ragdolled across the room.
Oh my god! Yes, yeah. Just as soon as they think that the demon is exorcised, Chaz says, "This is Chaz Kramer." Chaz Kramer asks, and then he gets immediately Loki'd, top to bottom, from the ceiling to the floor. Just absolutely fucking smashed.
He does get smashed.
And as he's dying, he says, He says to John, "You're right. It's not like it is in the books." And if that's not a tagline for every Alan Moore adaptation, I don't know what it is.
That's pretty good.
It's not like it is in the books, you know. And so yeah, Chaz dies, and it's very sad. And now John is like, okay, who the fuck is doing this? Because he can't see what caused Chaz to, like, who actually killed
right,
Chaz.
Who did interactive buddy to Chaz?
So he rolls up his sleeves, and he has these absolutely fucking sick arm tattoos.
Yeah.
And they're like, it's like a sigil that's like it's like a circle sigil that's in his that's on his arm, and he's trying to bring his forearms together, kind of his elbows together, kind of like in front of him. It's so anime. I love it so much. And he is calling the being who is interfering and who is trying to, you know, do all this shit, like, into the light, basically. And so he finally does it, and who is it but your friend and mine,
my close personal friend, Tilda Swinton, Gabriel the Angel.
Yeah, and oh boy, they are, oh my god, their outfit.
They just look so good.
It's so fucking good. Tilda Swinton, Gabriel, is like decked out in all white, but it's like this like weird 60s or 70s like Woodstock outfit. There's like bell bottoms, but they're like lace in the back. It's so fucking cool looking.
Yeah.
And Gabriel is doing what I can only describe as angel doming.
Yes. Tilda Swinton and Gabriel like puts their heel on John Constantine's face.
Yeah, it looks like a woodcut drawing come to life. It's so fucking cool. Gabriel basically spills like the beans as to why they are why they are helping birth Mammon. And basically the idea is that Gabriel has seen humanity, and the only times when humanity is most noble is when they face massive calamity or crisis. And so Gabriel, who is also kind of like doesn't really see human beings as worthy of God's love, is eager to test them and put them through the worst crisis imaginable, which is the birth of the Antichrist.
Right.
And so John's like, that's cringe, this sucks, fuck you. And then Gabriel throws Constantine through the double doors, out of the pool room, and into another room. Just absolutely smashes this second set of double doors, and John is out for the count, and it looks like all hope is lost, that Gabriel, who has the Spear of Destiny, is about to cut open Angela's stomach and birth Mammon into the world. John grabs some of the broken glass out of the double door that he was thrown into, and he cuts his own wrists.
Yes, because the devil himself would come to claim his soul, and who comes out just fucking like. I love Peter Stormare wearing like the freshest to death like white tracksuit, just like saunters onto the scene and is like, "Hey, Johnny boy!"
With neck tattoos and oily feet, and it's just so fucking good.
He like rolls up, he lights John's cigarette for him. Very very homosexual activity, if you ask me.
Yeah. He says, "You're the one soul I would come to Earth myself to collect." And John says, "So I've heard." And also, when Lucifer appears, time stops completely.
Yes.
So this is all happening while the world is ostensibly frozen. Lucifer says, So you're finally quitting, huh? You're finally tapped out. Now your soul belongs to me. And John's like, well, we need to talk first. You see, your son, he's doing shit behind your back.
Yeah.
With Gabriel.
He's snitching.
And they have the Spear of Destiny. And Lucifer, who knows that Mammon's birth is an undermining of his power, says, you're bullshitting me. You're lying to me. And Constantine says, you've waited 20 years to come collect me. What's 20 more seconds? So Lucifer goes into the pool room, busts through the door, and like shatters the glass and like walks through the glass while it's like suspended in slow motion. Yeah. He sees the scene and he knows what's happening, so he grabs Angela while time is completely stopped and pulls Angela out of the path of the Spear of Destiny.
Grabbed her by the shoulder and ripped her from perdition, per snaps. If I may be so bold.
And God, I couldn't stop you if I tried.
Just the annoyed grunt and moving on entirely. I have nothing but respect.
Anyway, so time goes to normal speed for a little bit, and Gabriel says, Lucifer, like, what the fuck? What's going on? And come on, it was just a prank, bro. Come on. And then Lucifer's like, this world is mine in time. But for now, it's time for you to go back. It's time for you to go back to your room. And he sends Mammon back to hell, which we see reflected in the water on the ground of the pool room, just like the mirror in the beginning of the movie. And Gabriel's like, well, fuck you. You ruined my plan. I'm going to smite you myself in his honor. And Gabriel goes to punch Lucifer, and the fist stops just before the face. And Lucifer says, looks like somebody doesn't have your back anymore. And then it's at that point when Gabriel's wings straight up wither away. And Gabriel gets blown into the pool and gets knocked back and gets totally owned by Lucifer. And Lucifer goes back into the room with John and says, fine, you were right, whatever. Thank you for telling me that Mammon was about to undermine me. What do you want? And John says, the girl Isabel, I want her to, he says to Lucifer, send her home. And Lucifer's like, fine, whatever. She can go to heaven. Who cares? Fuck this shit. And then Lucifer says, it's time to go. He grabs Constantine's wrists and starts whistling as he's like dragging John away. And then something really miraculous happens. John becomes way, way, way heavier than he was originally. And he starts distorting the floor. And it's at that point when Lucifer looks back and John is being lifted angel style to heaven, literally to heaven. Like there's a cloud opening portal and John's soul is like heading towards heaven.
Right.
And Lucifer says, no, that's not fair. He belongs to me. Lucifer says, the sacrifice. And as John's floating away to heaven, he flips off Lucifer, and Lucifer's like, no, this one belongs to me. So he walks up to John's body from behind, reaches around him, and digs his hand into John's lungs.
Yeah, and gives him that free toppy, by which I mean top surgery.
Oh God! And so Lucifer basically heals Constantine's wounds and cures him of his cancer.
Yeah.
And he says, I'm going to give you one more chance to prove that you truly belong in hell. And then he pulls out the nastiest looking cancer balls ever out of Constantine's chest and says, "You," he says, "I will see you very soon." And he's like doing his Paul Shamir like creepy walk, and he's like got like these like little globs of cancer in his hand, and he's just like fucking around with them. So yeah, Constantine lives against his will, and so he walks away, and then Constantine sort of comes to, walks back into the pool room, and sees and like sort of confronts and sort of like help make sure
like
that Angela's
literally
okay.
dripping wet. Tilda Swinton with like the stubs of broken off wings on their back.
Yeah, Gabriel says like, "Do you want revenge?" And then like Gabriel pulls out the gun from the pool, like the shotgun, and says, "Kill me, take revenge. Get rid of me. I don't want to be here while I'm not an angel." And John takes the gun and punches Gabriel in the face, and says, "That's pain. Get used to it." And then as they're walking away, Gabriel says, "You could have killed me, John. You could have shot me, John, but you chose a higher path. Look how well you're doing."
It's funny. It's cute. And then the movie, the movie ends with like John and Angela like chilling on a rooftop, and again straight baiting because this does really feel like they're leading up to them kissing, but they don't.
Yeah.
John just gives the Lance of Longinus to Angela, and it's just very funny that like this ancient thing of religion is just being given to someone. But I mean, hey, if we, Western cultures have been doing that to other countries and religions for, centuries. So why again, this ties back to like I can just so easily envision like a 90s movie being about like just making up some bullshit about Buddhism, and then taking a very real like physical concept from the history of Buddhism that holds the same place in like Buddhist history as the Lance of Longinus does in Christianity, and just handing it to someone. I can totally envision that. So this works so well for me.
Or indeed, I think that hits a little bit closer to home for me is the prevalence of the skinwalker in horror films and horror stories.
Yes.
I had a really heartbreaking moment at the end of last year when Antlers was finally released, a movie that I had seen a trailer for, I think 2 years ago, and I was like, "Oh, this is cool. This looks great," and the first thing I see when I went to go sit down and watch Antlers was a description about the Skinwalker, which has a name that everybody in the world knows that I'm not going to say, because I don't want to bring that energy out there, and because this is people's actual belief, but Stephen King and even Supernatural, like there's an episode of Supernatural that's named after that creature in the first season, and this is like the Skinwalker isn't some fucking cryptid. It isn't something that like you can just like slap in a story and say, "Ooh, isn't it so weird?" Or it's it's this sort of like it's this treading on the sacred and the understanding and the belief. Like I remember learning about like years ago now that there were actual people who claimed to be witches who wanted to do spell work with the Skinwalker creature, and the amount of fucked up that you twisted that you have to be in order to want to work with that kind of energy,
right,
and appropriate that story and that's very specific meaning from indigenous people. It's so fucked up, and the thing is that it doesn't stop there either. It's I think most ghost stories that are about haunted Indian burial grounds,
right, that is the classic, that is the number one go to,
the Ryan Reynolds Amityville horror movies, I think is one thing that really comes to mind in that way. And so what I find often about these movies, which is often unspoken of, is that the story of the Skinwalker in that particular iteration is a story about colonialism. And it's a story that changed its meaning with the circumstances that of the Algonquin people who carried that story from time immemorial. And so the meaning of the Skinwalker story has changed, and it has changed because of the relationship that indigenous people have to the land, and also to newcomers to the land. And so it to really sort of like take a hold of that story and just be like, actually, we're going to use it for our own story. We're gonna use it as if it's a prop that we can use. Like that. To me, especially when it's done under the auspice of like being diverse or being authentic to or being representational, is just pure horseshit to me.
Right.
Because it happens with Eastern religions.
Yep.
It happens with African religions, especially with African diasporic religions like voodoo, and which is so
right. Like we even
misrepresented
get some of that in this movie, like the them branching out into like the Papa Midnight being a witch doctor, like left kind of a bad taste in my mouth.
Yeah, there's a reverence for the work that witch doctors do in the text of the narrative, but what I think is nice is that they don't necessarily they don't try and like speak, like they do represent, I think, like some aspects of it, but most of what Midnight does is not necessarily voodoo.
Yeah.
Which is good. So there is that aspect of it. But it definitely is one of those things where in a lesser movie you would be seeing appropriation of all kinds of things. But in actuality, but I think going back to the scene where he gives Angela the spear, it's important for him to tell for her to hide the spear from
the evil Pope who has a GPS directing him to the spear
but also to hide it from Constantine
yes.
himself. So there's this really great sort of scene where Angela's entrusted with the spear, and so it's not a scene where, like, in any other movie, like somebody would have said like it belongs in a museum, but like because the movie also takes the mythos that it's dealing with for aesthetic purposes somewhat seriously. There's this aspect of like, okay, but we actually have to avoid the potential of it being found.
Right.
To disturb and to trouble in the real sense of the word, and to disrupt, to use a less fun word, the trappings of Christianity, which are so normalized. But there's blood stuff in Catholicism. There's so much ritual, and but the thing is that it goes unquestioned.
I cannot get. We're 2.5 hours deep on this podcast. I cannot get deep into what little I remember of Christianity and its sects. But so the movie ends with John doing a little bit of a monologue, and he at the top of this building, and he like motions as though he's about to pop a cigarette in his mouth, but he just puts a piece of gum in there anyways instead. I don't remember anything about this monologue, but there is. Did you get the post-credit scene?
Yes, I did. Yeah, I remembered that it existed, and I wanted to remember if it was as funny as I remember it being originally.
And it made me fucking cackle because John like walks up to Chaz's grave and leaves his lighter there, his cool Zippo lighter, and he turns around and Chaz is like standing on top of the grave with angel wings, and he just like shoots straight up into the air like Captain Falcon doing an up B. No, like Pitt doing an up B. Sorry, I mixed up my Smash characters briefly.
Yeah. Oh God. It was so funny. But yeah, I love the scene at the end because it's like, Chaz definitely is going to be one of those people who, all cabbies go to heaven, I think. Yeah. But actually, flashing back to being a kid, I was like, I don't smoke. I don't think I'll ever smoke anything, but God, I want that lighter.
Right?
There's so many things in this movie that I want. You know, I want the cool gold shotgun with the cool bullets in it, and I want I want the knuckle duster, brass knuckles with holy symbols carved into it, and the keychain full of religious icons, and John Wick's John Wick,
That's
John
him.
Constantine's small Bible for teens.
I need the I need the Hell Bible with the DLC.
Yeah, the Hell Bible DLC, you gotta get it when it's on sale because otherwise it's a killer. It's like buying Total Warhammer. You gotta buy the base game and then you gotta buy all the expansions. Because if you don't buy the expansions, then when 3 comes out, you're just gonna be stuck with the base game stuff, and people are gonna laugh at you. People are gonna say, "Wow, look at this chump with only 58 books of the Bible."
Yeah,
Nice Bible.
hasn't even
Idiot.
bought the
Did your
expansion
mom
pack.
buy it for you?
this motherfucker can't even go to Ishgard.
The cool teen Bible can only take you
This
so far.
this idiot hasn't unlocked Dark Knight.
You gotta get the New Game Plus Bible. You gotta.
Okay, we've gone so long. How many wet tilde swings are you going to give this movie? On a scale of 0 to 5 wet tildes.
I'm the only person in the world who will ever say it because I'm not a coward. I'm gonna give this one 5 wet tildes.
I have nothing but respect for you. This one clocks in at closer to like a 3.5 for me, but like on the upper end of a 3.5.
Yeah, it's a 3.5 hour. It's 3.5 hour. It's a 3.5 star movie for sure.
I think if it was a little, I think genuinely the fact that it's 2 hours and not 1.5 really takes away from it from me. Like there's a lot going on here.
Yeah.
I just think that density and better editing would have been this movie's friend.
Yeah, there's a little bit too much back and forth, especially with the Beeman. Like they find his body and then they go back to find Balthazar's coin. There's a little bit too much back and forth, and there's a little bit too much teasing Constantine and Angela getting together in the beginning, like when they have those near misses in terms of like meeting each other. But honestly, like it's 2 hours that fly by for me. It's a movie that I think aesthetically is definitely something that I really love. I know it's not faithful at all to Hellblazer, but I love Hellblazer as well. But I think that like this is a great alternate universe version of it. The thing is that everybody who's a part of the movie, who was a part of this film, really is a game for a sequel to come out, and I would love to see it. And I've been formulating in my head a movie that like a narrative that connects Johnny Mnemonic, The Matrix, this film, and John Wick together. And I'm really close to synthesizing it. I just need a little bit more fluff, and then I'm gonna write the movie that exposes the connection between all of these
Hell
films.
yeah.
And so yeah, like the movie is perfect for me. It was made for me. And so I have to give it 5 stars, or else lest my soul be damned to hell forever.
We got question.
Yeah.
Question from Keanu fan of the show, Stephanie at Age of Oddish. Keanu is always sexy, but is there a specific Keanu that is most sexy in your opinions? Bill and Ted Keanu, John Wick Keanu, Matrix Keanu, Point Break Keanu. There's so many options. For me, it's My Own Private Idaho. I think for me, I gotta go with John Wick because, Keanu Reeves is a very twinky looking fella in his earlier days. Like especially in The Matrix, he looks very proto-trans. But I don't know, just something about a man with that many guns is just. I know he's got a fair amount of guns in The Matrix, but like the number of guns he has in John Wick, like, whew.
Yeah,
Wiping a big comedy droplet of sweat off my brow.
For sure, like Keanu Reeves early in his career, the smooth face for me doesn't really like do a whole lot, because I'm a person who can't really grow facial hair, so like, you know, it's this thing that I think like I need somebody to be my mirror image, or I need somebody to be my opposite image, you know. So I tend to be attracted to people who like have facial hair, or like, you know, or if they don't have facial hair, or if they can't grow facial hair, then they have like shorter hair. So it's weird. Like, there's a lot of like weird kind of like like middle ground areas for me, but early John Wick Keanu Reeves, when his hair is just a little bit
Yeah.
shorter, is really
Like,
good.
it's
for
John
me.
Wick 1 Keanu Reeves, I gotta say. Like, he's looking fine in all of them, but it's John Wick 1.
Yeah, and I think that he's just a very conventionally attractive human being who I find yeah, definitely like a conventionally attractive person, so it's not like controversial to say that like that I find him hot, but I do.
Yeah. So that's no recommendations. We have recommendations to do. Joe, what you got?
So I've been doing a lot of stuff lately. I've been consuming a lot of media and a lot of things, but I think the one thing that's definitely been a real fucking bright shining star in my life lately has been the British game show Taskmaster. If anyone who's listening is a regular listener of like the Canning Brother family of products,
Jurgen, Kyle XY.
Yeah, you'll know that like they love to talk about Taskmaster, and it can seem overbearing. You might think to yourself, why am I listening to these people with bad opinions? But please do yourself a favor and go on YouTube and watch Taskmaster. All of the series are good. They're like even if the show is full of people who you've never heard of before, the amount of shit that happens on Taskmaster is so good. I'm actually planning on doing a fun like video where I edit the Taskmaster interstitial theme music with Saw footage.
I know you've already discussed this. I know I've already seen you post about this, but I really need this to happen.
Yeah, so fans of this podcast, the very good Soptember series, if you're looking for something that's as ridiculous as Saw and has the same premise as Saw, but is goofy and fun and not bloody and violent and terrible,
hello,
then,
Rajat. I have your glass of your special water.
just so good.
James
And
Adonian, for years you have been. The task that I have for you today is to break this block of ice and to dissolve this block of ice completely. You have 20 minutes.
Live or die.
Live or die. The choice is yours.
1 point or 5. The choice is yours. And my favorite thing about Taskmaster is. My favorite thing about Taskmaster is like watching the tasks and then being like the person who's like epic and like armchair like I know what I would do differently if I were given this task, and it's to the point where I'm genuinely thinking about like once like Omicron sweeps over the nation and like whoever's left standing,
Right.
can come over to my house and we could do Taskmaster.
Yeah,
stuff.
that would be fun. Fun way to spend a drunken night.
Yeah, like if they're like in the far flung, in the grimdark future, and should there ever be a PGOT meetup again, I would bring the Taskmaster.
Oh, that would be so good. Pigot Taskmaster.
Yeah, just making everyone do tasks, making everyone do dumb shit. I want to see Brooks and Eddie eat watermelon off the floor.
Okay.
They've had it coming.
All right. My recommendation this week is going to be, once again, Higurashi no Naku Koroni. I am almost done with the 5th chapter out of 8, and I am just... The storytelling that is happening in this chapter is really just blowing me away. Like, I thought that Higurashi was great up until now, but like the curtains being peeled back a little bit now that I'm in the back half of everything, and what I'm seeing, like the fucking Rube Goldberg machinations happening behind the scenes that like made it, just watching everything fall into place is so delightful. So again, my recommendation will be Higurashi When They Cry.
Yeah, Higurashi is interesting because when I was young and I was getting into anime, like I saw the first half of Death Note until the thing that made me stop watching
Right.
happened. The best character went
Yeah.
away. I was like, what other kind of anime are like that? And for some reason, the two anime that I was recommended were Elfenlied and When They Cry. And I watched both of them, and they both, they were both. No, sorry, I was recommending three anime: Paranoia Agent, When They Cry, and Elfenlied. And so watching those three anime was like very different experiences. But the one that kind of didn't stick with me was Higurashi, and so watching the anime series of Higurashi, I was like, okay, I've experienced everything that needs to be experienced. But as it turns out, that's only the surface.
Yeah,
level.
the thing is that the first 4 episodes of the TV show of Higurashi are an adaptation of about 80,000 words of story.
Yeah, which is a heck
And like,
of a
I mean,
way
I don't
want to
sound like I think that they should have like done like they should have like made that arc last longer, because like you got to condense it down. Like getting the intro arc down to 4 episodes seems like a pretty good condensation of what happens in that. But the sheer length of it all, it's very daunting, but it also feels really satisfying every time I finish like a full chapter, which I'm getting really close to getting that again for chapter 5, and I'm very excited.
And what I will say for people who are like, I don't really know if this genre of video game is for me. What I will say is that if you go on Steam, Higurashi Chapter 1 is free
as fuck. Free 99, baby.
And there is a total of 7 chapters? 8 chapters. So try the first chapter. And if it's your thing, every other chapter is like $9.
Yeah,
maybe even less. And so, like,
learn about make some friends in the village of Hinamizawa.
Yeah, and Sarah, you said which chapter?
I'm finishing up recently? 5.
So you're getting into the portion of the series where the questions start to get
the answers arcs.
A little bit. Yeah, and so, like, if you like mysteries, if you like fucked up narratives, if you like weird things happening in small towns, I think that's all.
Yeah.
Actually, I think.
If you like Hot Fuzz,
if you like a good mystery, go for at least the first chapter and see if it's your thing. And if it's not your thing, then on my personal recommendation, I would say try the show.
Yeah.
And then if the show entices you, then try the games again.
Yeah. Yes.
As a media property that is split among like video games and the anime and also the books, it's like, it can seem daunting as an outsider, but you don't have to take it all at once. Right. Just do little sample bits.
Just take it easy, but take it. All right, let's get out of here. John, plug your stuff so I can do the wrap up and we can get out of here, because this has been a fucking barn burner episode.
another certified hour-long
certified record length. Exclusive.
Yeah, I gotta break that 3-hour record, or almost 3-hour record. But no, you can find me on Twitter at friend of the show. All the letters of the words capitalized, and find my pinned tweet on that. I should probably update that soon. But if you like spooky music and if you like good bad vibes like fear baiting, listen to my radio show. It's called The Sound of Shadows.
Hell yeah.
I'm really good with keeping up with new episodes this year, so that's my resolution. And if you like music that is on the darker side,
I love music.
If you love music, then please love me and love my show.
Yeah. So we can be found on Twitter at fearbaiting, also on Patreon, patreon.com/fearbaiting. If you want to support the show, $1 a month is a bit of a tip jar. Occasionally we get the episodes out early. If we do, you get them early. $5 a month gets a shout out on the show and a message read on the show. $10, all that, and you can send in a movie for us to watch. Thank you very much to Luna Wolf, Paul Moran, and Paul Bechtel. Thank you to Blair, who edits most of these episodes. He is on Twitter at Blair Kitch. Thank you to people you meet outside of bars for our intro and outro music. You can find them You can find more of their music at gaygothvibes.online. Thank you to Matt GameCube for creating and hosting the Noisepace.xyz podcast network that this show is so graciously a part of. You can find other shows that I, Sarah, do on there, such as Forward ReZero, the ReZero Rewatch podcast I'm doing with my friend Morgan and my girlfriend Neve. You can listen to Henry Kissinger's Pokemon Going to Die, an infrequently updated leftism podcast, the Wonder Years, an Animorphs podcast it will come back someday. I firmly believe that we will have that finished someday. It's just been... Have you looked outside lately? It's been kind of rough. And Jujutsu Kaisen podcast, Special Grade Snacks. Movie's coming out in America in like March, I think. So we might be coming back for that. We might also just resort to watching the camera. We're getting kind of desperate over here. You can find me on Twitter at Sunhatzhenya, SUNHATZHENYA. And I believe that will be everything. So until next time, I'm Sarah.
And I'm Joe.
And remember,
you can put a fucked up guy